Welcome. We are going over accountability tools in SalesRabbit. So, how do I make sure that my reps are really actually working and doing what they say they do? I like to call it micromanaging in secret. So, your reps obviously don't want to feel micromanaged, but we also need to run a successful business or run a successful team. And it's important that we know where my reps have been. Are they actually doing what they say they do? So we have two different tools that we're going to go over. One is called proximity indicator. The second one is called user locations. So we're in the Sales Rabbit mobile app. I'm going to select Sales Hub and we're going to showcase the proximity indicator first. So I'm going to drop a few different pins in the area. So I've dropped a few different pins, and what this really ends up looking like is if I go to this pin right here, you're going to notice that there's an X on it. That is part of the proximity indicator functionality. There are three different types of these little circles and icons, and they have different meanings. So, if it's a green check mark, what that means is that the user was within 0 to 25 meters from the house when they drop the pin or from the pin location. If it's yellow and it's the little Wi-Fi signal, that means that we were 25 meters to 100 meters away from the pin based off of our location, right? So it means I was probably just a little bit up the street. I knocked a couple of doors and then I added that pin or I went a couple of doors down. The last one is what you're seeing right here, which is the red X. That means we were at 100 meters plus away from the pin when we dropped it. And so I can also visualize this. So one, I can come in and I can find a quick little snapshot of what actually happened in this area. So these are still loading in right now. Sometimes it takes a second. But we'll click on this. And right here, if I want to understand, okay, it was a red X, but where actually were they? I can press see activity. This is taking me to the activity or the history of the lead, what actually has happened on this lead. And it's going to show me a red X. I'm going to select the red X. And then what it's going to do is it's going to draw a dotted line of here's where I physically was versus here was the pin. So at the time that I dropped this pin, I was located here at the office, about a 10-minute drive, 10-15 minute drive away from where this pin actually is. So I would know the idea is that I can go in and I can monitor specific user specific rep if I feel like they're maybe not working, or I just want to spot check, see what's going on, or I want to see what's just happening in this person's day, or what happened this last week. Is I can come and I can check and see, okay, this user dropped 50 pins today, but they stayed in the same location the whole entire day. My guess is they're not working. Or maybe it sparks a conversation of, hey, why are you in this specific location while you're updating and you're putting not home or not interested, whatever it may be. The next piece is user location. So it's going to look really similar to this dotted line, but rather than it showing up as a lead, is it's going to maintain this line and it's going to show you the points over the map of where I've driven to throughout the day or where I've walked to throughout the day, and it's going to monitor this progress. So it looks just like this, except it's going to show instead of a lead, it's going to show my initials or my user icon, and it's going to show timestamps just like this. So similar to the breakdown here of it's timestamping everything that's happening, it's timestamping my location. So that way I can actually look in here and determine and say, okay, this user was here, then they were here, and then they were here. Hey, why are they driving 45 minutes across town, etc.? It should be queuing you into what's actually happening with your reps, and you can hold them accountable. Thanks for joining us for the accountability portion of SalesRabbit.